North Dakota Soil and Water Conservation Society presents a SWCS video production. Why belong to the Soil and Water Conservation Society? Ask yourself, are you a conservationist? Why belong to the Soil and Water Conservation Society? To become a leader, learn different conservation techniques, increase networking, and to help protect our natural resources. Protecting soil is essential, as we learned far back as the Dust Bowl days, addressing water quality using buffers, watershed planning on various land uses, designing, installing, and implementing conservation practices to protect our natural resources. Let's listen to Craig talk about the tangible benefits of belonging to Soil and Water Conservation Society.
I think there's lots of reasons to belong to the Soil and Water Conservation Society, but I think the main reason people belong is because they think they are a professional and that they are part of a large professional community of scientists and practitioners and program managers who are all working for a common cause, which is to ensure that our soil and water resources are managed well and are sustained for future generations, and that we feel part of this diverse, multidisciplinary, dedicated community that is working towards a common goal. That's why I think most people are members of our society. But there's other direct benefits to membership. It keeps you connected to this larger community of professionals. It's a networking tool to allow you to meet, work with, and learn with a whole group of professionals from across the world.
Leaders are born with SWCS. Many leadership qualities are developed with SWCS involvement. It gives them an avenue to show what they can do. Let's look at an example of one benefit.
What do you know about Tom? Do you think he's able to do that training for us coming up?
Yeah, I think Tom would be perfect. He came back from that SWCS training really fired up. He'll be great. I'm sure he'll do it.
The SWCS workshops have been out in front in this new technology. Think we can find anyone else that went to that training? Put it on our training cadre?
Yeah, I'll check around. I'll talk to Tom and get back to you. You know, some of our most up-and-coming staff are involved with the SWCS. They've really been a great help to our business. Then what kind of a budget do we have?
Soil and Water Conservation Society is a nonprofit scientific and educational organization founded in 1943 that serves as an advocate for conservation professionals and for science-based conservation practice, programs, and policy. SWCS has over 5,000 members around the world. They include researchers, administrators, planners, policymakers, technical advisors, teachers, students, farmers, and ranchers. Our members come from nearly every academic discipline and many different public, private, and nonprofit institutions. The saying goes, a membership to SWCS is as good as gold. Watch how this comes true.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Hey, look at this.
Oh my God, what is that?
It's gold. Oh, wow.
Oh my
That's got to
God.
be worth at least $1,000. There's
I think more than that.
Really? Gold's going for about $400 an acre or an ounce. Wow, that's incredible.
See, that's another benefit of being a member of SWCS. We would have never found this gold unless we'd been out on this field trip.
Wow, that's another benefit of being a member, isn't it?
It is. Jeez, you get tired of waiting.
Hold it on coming, honey. Yes, can I help you?
Yes, you certainly can. I'd like to cash this gold nugget in that we found on an SWCS tour yesterday.
Well, let me check it out. So,
Looks like
yeah.
you should
tastes
have
like
some,
gold.
Looks like you should have some familiarity with that, with all that metal you got on your
Yeah,
fingers.
yeah. You know, I love my jewelry. I'm a high maintenance kind of gal. Let me check it. Let me weigh it back here. I hope I have enough to pay you. Gonna be quite a bit. 100, 200,
Keep them coming.
300, 400, 500, 1,000. Oh my
Wow.
God, you're gonna break the bank, honey. $2,000, sweetie. You hit the jackpot.
Wow, how'd you get the money?
You know what? We were on a Soil and Water Conservation Society tour. We saw a place where they're recovering that vegetation from a burn. We spent all day with colleagues, and we found a gold nugget.
That's
Can you imagine?
fantastic.
$2,000, a good time. Who wouldn't be a member of SWCS?
I think you're right.
You ladies?
Signed you? Sign me up.
Learn different conservation techniques at workshops and field tours.
My name is Tom Fedewa, and I'm on the Environmental Management Tour as a part of the Soil and Water Conservation Society's annual meeting. And we're on the farm, Peterson Farm out of Rochester to the east, and heard a lot about their conservation practices that they have, their best management practices relating to the runoff, the control off their roofs, and their composting, directing the composting into their lagoon, and how they're stockpiling it and spreading on their land.
Tours help support the technical conference.
I'm Jim Bruce from Ottawa, Canada, and I'm an independent consultant on environmental issues. Yeah. Well, these tours are great to demonstrate the kind of techniques for improving the environment while farming that we talk about in the conference, but don't see demonstrated. And this farm, for example, he's growing vegetables organically, and there are some problems associated with that. And it was interesting to hear his motives for doing that. These tours really help drive home the various points we talk about in the technical conferences.
The overall advantages of going to an annual meeting is the people you meet. You certainly have the opportunity to gather a lot of technical information, but meeting different people, talking to those people, developing friendships, it's just a lot of fun. And I can't emphasize enough the benefits to belonging to a professional society and having that experience, and it increases your network of other people in the country and how they work, and you never know when one of those might pick up one of your applications and say, geez, I know this person from the meeting over in Minneapolis. So belonging to this society and being active in a professional society is one of the best things that you can do.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Heggie, President-elect of the North Dakota chapter of SWCS, and I'm here in Keystone, Colorado today, participating in a day-long tour titled Water, the Lifeblood of the West. Today we had a fabulous discussion about PAM, a material used as a flocculant to seal the bottom of irrigation water canals and improve efficiency of water use.
We're at a site, a snowtail site that is handled by the Natural Resource Conservation Service to help in measuring snow depth and water content, and to aid in water runoff. So this is one of the sites on the tour. It is above Breckenridge, and helps to estimate some of the water that goes into Dillon Reservoir, which provides water to the city of Denver.
Let's look at the real benefits, lifetime achievements that are recognized by SWCS.
Max, congratulations on receiving the Hugh Hammond Bennett Award. That's a great honor.
Thank you.
What kind of benefits can a person expect from being a member of the SWCS?
Well, there are a lot of benefits, but I think we can boil them down to about in three categories, perhaps. First, I think it's a real opportunity to be active at the chapter level, the local level. There are a lot of opportunities as a chapter member to develop leadership capabilities, and I think that's important, particularly for younger professionals working out in the field. Second, I think membership gives you access to the Journal, Journal of Soil and Water Conservation, to annual meetings and special conferences that the Society does. And it even creates or allows you to be a part of a broader network. And that's important from an educational point of view, and developing oneself professionally. And then third, I think just the mere fact that the people are working in a profession demands that they belong to a professional association that fits their profession. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the Soil and Water Conservation Society, but professional membership in a professional organization is a real plus for people, I think, in terms of a resume and seeking to better themselves and their career.
How about staying technically sound? It is said a college degree turns over every 5 years.
Well, it's easy to brag about the Journal of Soil and Water Conservation. It is among the leading scientific journals in the field of natural resources, not only in the United States, but in the world. In fact, we track something called an impact factor, which quantifies how often articles published in a journal are cited by other scientists. And our journal ranks usually in the top 10 of journals in our natural resource area, which is really remarkable. And I think confirms that the scientific content of the journal is unparalleled. But the journal is a lot more than a scientific journal. It also is a journal for practitioners, people who are on the ground applying conservation. And I think that's what makes the journal really unique. I mean, the front section of the journal has articles targeted directly at people who are trying to share their experiences implementing conservation practices, working with conservation programs, the people who really make conservation happen on the ground. And I think the news section of the journal is something I look to keep me abreast of what's happening in the world of conservation.
Former Soil Conservation Service Chief Norm Berg speaks.
I have been a charter member of the Society since the beginning. And I have a copy of the journal, the first journal that the Society issued in 1946, almost 60 years ago. And the president at that time wrote an article, "Why Another Society?" Because there are already about a dozen societies in the conservation area. And the Society plans to promote and advance all phases of the science of conservation of soil and water and recognizing the related fields. And they were going to undertake and present the professional soil conservationist point of view, because we didn't have that sort of an emphasis like we had in forestry and wildlife and some of the other areas. And the objectives that were outlined at that time for the Society still stand today in terms of what we say in terms of our mission, even in the latest report in terms of the Society. So I think you'll find, first of all, our strength is at the local level in the chapters, because they recognize what their problems are in that particular area, what are the disciplines that need to be involved, and what kind of expertise you and others can bring to the future of soil, water, watershed management, locally, within the region, eventually national and worldwide. And we are an international society.